So now we are going to learn how to build this page. And to do that, we will learn about all these different tags right here, right? So these are the different tags we're going to learn about. Preview for this video. And I'm going to show you how to use Google Fonts. And we'll revisit that at some point, but I thought it'd be kind of fun. So let's do it. And the first thing we're going to learn about are comments. So how do you include comments in HTML? So if I want to comment my file, it's like that. And I could do comments easily just with command / and whatever file I'm in WebStorm, it'll put in the correct comment syntax. Like if I'm in HTML, it'll give me HTML comments. If I'm doing Go programming, it'll give me Go comments /. So in WebStorm, you just do command /. And you can learn all that stuff from key map references right there. Right, there you go. I just keep mentioning that. And forgive me if sometimes I repeat the same thing, because sometimes I record videos and delete them, and then I forget, did I show you this already? Yeah, I did show this in a video, which I believe was deleted, but if that's bonus material, I won't charge you extra for it. All right. So the first thing we're going to learn is headings and paragraphs. So here's a heading, and here are paragraphs. Pretty straightforward. Not much to say about it, right? Content wrapped by different tags. That's the opening tag. There's the closing tag. And we can preview it, and that's what it looks like. And you can see our browser applied default formatting to this heading 1. And that's like formatting coming from HTML. And HTML we don't want to use for formatting. So the browser is applying that formatting to the heading. And we could see this if we look at like all H1 through H6. There are 6 headings, right? 6 different possible headings. If we look at this, we'll see how our browser formats it, different sizes. And we, as developers, want to be responsible for making our pages look the way we want them to look. So eventually we're going to add a reset, what's called a CSS reset, to our web page. And that's going to tell the browser to not add any formatting in. It's going to put everything down to 0 basically, and then we will build it up from there. But if there's no reset in there, the browser will add some additional formatting. So that's the H1 and the paragraph tag, and I provided a few extra examples in here just for you to look at. Here's an unordered list. So we took that page and we took that first paragraph right here, this entire first paragraph, and at Mozilla we're global whatever. At Mozilla we're global, and then turn this into an unordered list, and so we can see what that looks like right here. And unordered list is just UL opening tag and closing tag. I can make that an ordered list, OL, instead of a UL unordered list, and this is what an ordered list looks like. 1, 2, 3, right? So instead of the bullets, it's 1, 2, 3. I'm going to make that go back to unordered list. There we go. It's an unordered list, and notice that inside, the content of the unordered list is some LIs. Those are list items. That's what LI stands for. So here is the anchor tag, and I provided 2 files here just so we could separate the anchor tag and look at it on its own. And so the basics of an anchor tag is like this. And it has the attribute href with a value being where do you want it to link to. And so if I preview this anchor tag and I click it, in this same page, I just go to another page. If I add this attribute here of target and blank, now when I do it, it'll open this link in a new page. So this page will still be here. That page is still there, but it opened Google in a new tab. So that's the attribute target blank. And we're going to add a link in to our Mozilla stuff just right there. All right, that's the anchor tag. And then we'll add an image in. So here's an image tag, and it's a self-closing tag. So it's got the source attribute with the value being, hey, where should I do it? And notice that, there's a little bit of a difference there, which can be confusing. The anchor tag asks for a uniform resource. It asks for a resource with href. This is asking for a resource with source. So slightly different attributes, but so image uses source, and here's the value. It's the location, right? Where's that image? And this is a relative URL. So relative to this file, go into picture, which is the same level, go into the pic folder, and then choose Be Kind, JPEG, and motto for living life. So if we preview that, I'll let you speculate what this image might look like. Are you done? You got an image of what the image might look like? There it is. I saw that as somebody's desktop and I liked it. I thought that's pretty cool. All right, so that's an image. So we're going to add an image to our Mozilla webpage. And here's the image. So we're saying image, Firefox, icon, PNG. It's right there. And then alternative text. And you want this text to sort of make sense if a screen reader is reading it. Remember, this alternative text, if somebody's looking at the page or listening to the page with a screen reader, or if your image doesn't show up, this is what shows up. So preview that. Our page is coming together. It's looking pretty good. Images go a long ways towards making things look nice. And then we can use the link tag to link in a style sheet. And so the style sheet I'm linking in is just a link to Google Fonts. And so they're the Google Fonts. And in this text CSS deal right here, a lot of people include it, but a lot of people also don't include it. So it doesn't necessarily need to be there. And I brought up an article. I just Googled that. And you can pause the video and read through the Stack Overflow, because somebody's like, hey, do we need text CSS and link for HTML5? And so, you know, that's something you'll come across. Some people include it, some don't. Mostly you don't need to. That's my perspective. So here is that. Now I said I'd show you Google Fonts. So it's using Google Fonts and it's bringing down a font. But let's grab a different font. So I could go to Google Fonts. And I'll show this again at some point where we actually talk about it. And I could come in here and I could look for different fonts. And so all categories, I'm just going to do handwriting. Okay. And then I'm going to add this one to collection. And then use. And there's Pacifico Normal. And then it gives me this link right here. So I'm just going to copy this, add that code to my website. And when I add that in, right, same deal. Google includes the text CSS. If Google does it, I'm motivated. I'm going to leave it. So now I've added a different font. Let's look at it. No change. What would I need to do to get that to work? I come back to here, Google Fonts, and I need some CSS, font family, Pacifico cursive. So I could copy that, and then I could come back here and I could add some style. There's a style tag, and then font family, Pacifico cursive. And what do I want to apply that to? I want to apply it to the whole document. Just trying a keyboard shortcut command, which I wasn't liking. And now I save this and I preview it. Whoa. That's kind of cool. So that's a little bit of an advanced preview of stuff that's coming. But here we added in some CSS, some styling, and we downloaded a resource, a font, and then we were able to apply that font to the whole page. So that's the introduction to some really essential tags in HTML, and the H1 through H6, the heading tags, the paragraph tag, lists, unordered and ordered lists, the anchor tag, and does anchor use href or source? Quiz, href, just so you can visually see that, anchor, href. And then we have the image tag. Does image use href or source? Source. And so I'll just do attribute href, attribute is a source, and then also target equal underscore blank. And then we looked at the link tag. Does the link tag use href or source? Kind of crazy. We have all those, and the answer is href. href. And then we also saw the style tag, but I'm not going to put that in the list yet because we haven't talked about CSS. And so we learned about those basic tags. And with those tags, you could do quite a bit. So that's a really good introduction. Like those are some really good basic tags you need to know about in HTML.